Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maverick here, and today we are watching another episode of Code Geass. So, last episode, I do think that the main conflict of this story has been brought forward front and center, and no, I'm not talking about the obvious conflict between the Britannians and the Japanese slash 11s, but more so the conflict between Lelouch and Suzaku, right? How they even though they are the best of bros and whatnot, even though they represent different backgrounds, they are now on opposite sides of the conflict because they hold different philosophies, ideologies, and beliefs. Well, I kind of went into little depth in the last episode, so I'm not going to reiterate here once again. I do love a commenter in the last episode, though, who pointed out how Suzaku's ideologies is probably similar to Immanuel Kant, which I can really, I totally see that. With that being said, though, that is still speculation, because we haven't really gotten to Suzaku's side of the story yet. We haven't heard his monologue. Potentially, there could be some other stuff that he is dealing with, some other reasoning he has, right? But in any case, that's kind of jumping the gun. We haven't even gotten through with Lelouch and truly understanding him either. So we still have that to go through. And I would expect for these next few episodes to really show us a bit more understanding as to Lelouch, how he thinks and how he operates, etc., etc. And beyond all that, though, hey, at the end of last episode, the mysterious green-haired girl from the first episode has finally reappeared, who potentially will shed some light on Lelouch's Geass ability, right? The namesake of the show. Well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Those look like M1 tanks. Ah. Okay. Overgrown fake nightmares? Alright. Goodbye. So, 18 colonies, basically. Younger brother's mess. So, is this also royalty? Probably so. Wow, alrighty. Yep, there's the response I was talking about. You want to jump the gun and start your rebellion now? You gotta, you gotta take on all the reinforcements, right? The opening kind of threw me off for a while because the tanks that I saw there seemed to be like, M1 tanks. Wait, are they called M1 tanks? Yeah, it's been a while. I used to be a military nerd, but, I haven't really kept up with information nowadays. But they were American tanks, basically. So I was thinking, why is this talking about how Britannia conquered the United States or something? But no, it was indeed Britannian forces fighting against the, I assume, Saudis. Zero, zero. The princess and, well, there we go. That is indeed a princess. So who exactly is the witch, eh? She's just like right here. So much. Lucia's mind must be racing right now. I would guess the witch is Cece, then. Alright. Well, I gotta say, Lelouch does have the talent for pulling off the Chuny. Nope. Just for all of it. Right. I do wonder what happened. What happens to the Margrave now? Like, what I'm talking about here is once he eventually came to, right? It seems that they can't remember what they did. So, obviously he'll be thinking that Zero pulled some sort of trick, right? Yeah, just throw a little bombshell down there. Right. So I think this goes back to... Oh. Okay, the court-martial case. Hmm? Who are you? If there wasn't anyone below you, you'd be dead, girl. The hell? Yeah, see, obviously so few people who suspect that. Fake name. Why does her sound? Why does she sound like sort of auto-tuned? Oh, some disguise. The guy instantly saw through him. What is with her voice, though? Or is this the princess? Or is this the witch? Let's see. Okay. Probably the princess. I mean, having a princess try to run away as a commoner and see the sights, that's a pretty common trope. The rom-com aspects of it. uh, Good job. Shinjuku Ghetto? Oh. Yeah, they're setting him up. Good. If it's an optical signal, you can reflect. Okay, that makes for some interesting usage. Here we go. Right. One's trying to start a war, one's trying to stop a war. Okay, so that girl is probably Princess Cornelia. So who was the girl we saw at the very beginning? Or is she the witch? Oof. Damn, this dude. And the princess is going to be like, stop! Ooh, nice. Nah, that was... I thought it was like a huge bomb or something. Okay, so not Corania. Okay. She was actually close to Clovis? Hmm. Ah, this is your film. So they're both princesses. Yeah, this is one who gets shit done. Ooh. The fact that he can actually enter that school probably means that they recognize his actual Britannian allegiance. Alright, see you guys after this. Alrighty, that was episode 5, and I think I can say that things went more or less as expected. There weren't too many surprising things in this one. Just a quick discussion about the end of this episode where Suzaku transferred to Lelouch's school. So obviously it doesn't really make much sense from a pure student perspective, right? Suzaku, I'm assuming he joined the army, he probably attends a military academy. Perhaps he's finished his studies there, but and that's why he participated in the Shinjuku battle, but in any case, there's no real reason for him to transfer back to a civilian school, right? So there's probably a couple of reasons for this. Number one would be perhaps Yuffie, the princess and the sub-viceroy, is also going to be joining this school, right? Apparently, she is probably more kept on the down low, so most people wouldn't know of her that much. And if she is going to go to the school, she probably wants a bodyguard, right? Or someone close to her, and given her proximity already with Suzaku, that makes a lot of sense, right? So I guess we'll know by next episode if we also see a second transfer student in Yuffie. Beyond that, another reason I can think about is more in the vein of what I mentioned at the end there. So, sort of like acknowledging his status as a Britannian now, because this school, I think, should be only reserved for actual Britannians, and indeed perhaps even high-class Britannians here. And the fact that they can allow Suzaku, right, an honorary Britannian, to join this, it also serves as sort of like an example as to, you know, the advancement of the integration project and whatnot. So there's these two reasons, I think, so we'll probably know by the next episode. I mean, I guess the third reason is there's some secret mission that involves Suzaku and whatnot, but in which case, well, again, we'll know next episode, right? So, anyways, putting that aside, the sort of conflict and contrast between Suzaku and Lelouch was once again put on display here, pretty much as expected. Again, I went to length about this in the last episode already. Basically, you have a case of, you know, peaceful, gradual reform versus violent, immediate revolution, right? And these are the two opposite sides of the spectrum that these two have chosen in order to save this country, save this world, etc., right? Although there may be various selfish reasons involved as well. I have to say, from a personal perspective, you know, just personally, I still like Lelouch's methods more. I mean, it's more like a hell yeah kind of attitude, right? Like, I'm just gonna F things up and to hell with it. You know, who cares if about all the collateral damage and whatnot? I have my ideals and I'm gonna do everything to get it, right? And not to mention, I do enjoy Lelouch's personality much more as well. I have a aversion towards the you know, the allies of justice and you know, your typical shonen kind of main character. But with that being said, though, that is only personal preference. That's my heart speaking. My mind, my head, indeed, looking at things from a historical perspective, from a more macro, empirical perspective, Suzaku's method makes a lot more sense logically, and is probably the better solution in the long run as well. So once again, I talked at length about this in the last episode about you know, basically history has taught us that kind of method is the key to ensuring you know, lasting peace and a prospering country / empire, whatever you want to call the group of people here, right? So I don't know, this is going to be pretty interesting to me, because I would essentially be rooting for both sides, actually, since, you know, there are definitely points to take from each side. And indeed, even in this episode, you know, through the first 4 episodes, we've been showing the sort of corruption and the you know, the arrogance and so on and so forth of the Britannians and whatnot. But I have a feeling that from this episode and indeed continuing forward, you know, we're still going to get some of the assholes, right? Like the people who were taking photos and whatnot. But still, you know, we can definitely see more and more the sort of a turning point here, where I do feel that the anime in the future is going to show a lot more of the good sides after Britannian people as well, and indeed even Britannian royalty, right? Certainly the two princesses right now have been leaving a pretty good first impression. Yuffie is obviously more of the kind-hearted kind of girl, whereas who's that other one? Cornelia, right? Cornelia. I want to call her Cornelius because of a general, but anyways, Cornelia. She seems more similar in personality to Lelouch, right? Calculating, no nonsense, gets the job done and whatnot. But it seems that Cornelia is also a girl who wants to rid the Britannian Empire of its I guess its bad parts, if you will, and also takes a much more aggressive approach to things, if you will. So, I don't know, obviously we'll learn a little bit more later, but as for right now, I do feel that both of them have left a good impression on me. And, well, that's alright. So let's put that there. What else happened in this episode? Oh, we got Cece as well, right? And obviously we have Lelouch testing out his abilities, which great job. I love that he actually went to different lengths to experiment with his abilities. So even if it's not really shown on screen, we know that he knows some more information about his abilities, which is quite crucial, I feel. Cece herself is still a mystery. Now, at this point, I think there's only two explanations for her, right? One is that she's an android, right? She's a robot, an AI of some sort. And number two, she is a clone. So all of these CCs are clones of like one original, one source, if you will. And the reason for this is because I don't think this is a series which is going to involve magic in it, right? Even the Geass ability that we've seen so far, currently it seems that they're going more of a scientific route in terms of explaining things and so on and so forth. So with that in mind, if we're only going by pure science here, then, well, the only explanation for Cece taking a bullet to the head and still appearing right now is that she is a clone. Right? and that's pretty much it. Obviously still a mystery. I do have to say though, I quite like the sort of rom-com kind of the kind of tendencies that we're having in here, particularly surrounding Lelouch, right? We got Cece, we got Callan, and we got Shirley as well, and hey, who knows, and maybe more will turn up later on. And Suzaku seems to getting hitched up with his own girls as well, right? And I mean, let's be honest here. The characters in this anime are very, very attractive, right? Well, I guess it's kind of an acquired style, but I mean, I do enjoy the works of Clamp. I read a lot of their mangas as well. I do like the way that Clamp stylizes their characters, right? And indeed, I gotta say, the characters, particularly, the girls here, are all very well proportioned, right? So, obviously, that's another plus for me. So there we go. That's it for this episode. In the next one, we'll learn a bit more about like why Suzaku is actually at the school, what kind of mission has he been entrusted with. Interested to see the interaction between Lelouch and Suzaku as well. Suzaku's probably going to have a bit of a hard time at the beginning, in terms of fitting in, right? Because he's not an actual Britannian and all of that, which probably Lelouch is going to help more or less in his own way. Hey, maybe Suzaku was going to join the student council as well, right? I wouldn't put it past the series to also pull something like that off. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for this episode of Code Geass. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.